Senator, you for a question?
One of my heroes in the Senate, a living legend, my partner on some bills that I'm so passionate about expanding IVF, someone that is just freaking awesome. I yield for a question while retaining the floor.
Thank you, Senator Booker, for taking this important stand and for doing so much to make it clear how much pain Donald Trump and Elon Musk are inflicting on the American people in every sector of our society. I'm going to be asking you a question about what you've heard from agricultural businesses in your state about the damage that this administration is doing and the jobs that either have been or will be lost as a result. But I thought I would give you some background on what I'm hearing as well. I want to focus this body's attention on our nation's farmers and ranchers who seem to be getting punched day after day, week after week by the Trump-Musk oligarchy. Whether it's their harmful tariffs that hurt our soy and corn farmers, canceling and freezing more than $1 billion in funding for schools and food banks to purchase food from local farmers, or halting reimbursement and contract payments that our farmers are already owed, the senator from New Jersey and I are both working together to undo some of the most harmful impacts of these disastrous decisions, including joining forces to push his Honor Farmer Contracts Act forward. We're also starting to hear reports from farmers about just how damaging the Musk-Trump dismantling of USAID is. Jobs and businesses right here. Example, I don't know if the senator has heard, but in North Carolina, they had $2.2 billion in USAID awards, including for 27 large-scale farmers who were fulfilling orders for humanitarian food assistance, and 4 universities who were receiving agricultural research funding. More than 300 North Carolina workers have lost their jobs as a result of this freeze. In Georgia, they had over $389 million in USAID awards, including 9 large-scale farmers fulfilling orders for humanitarian food assistance and 6 universities receiving agricultural research funding. Arkansas had over $210 million in USAID awards, including purchases of rice, grain, and beans from our farmers. Florida has lost $91 million in USAID awards, including $38 million to the University of Florida to improve livestock productivity and food security in developing countries. Texas lost over $48 million in USAID awards, including 9 large-scale farmers fulfilling orders for humanitarian food assistance and 8 universities receiving agricultural research funding. The list goes on and on. My neighbors in Iowa over time now have lost over $4 million in USDA food commodity sales. They have gained they had a total of over $149 million in purchases through USDA and other programs for USAID. Illinois has lost $245 million in aid in farm income that would go towards USAID and aid programs. I think that our farmers have been hit with body blow after body blow from this administration, an administration that in their first term and even in the second term promised that they would look out for America. But I have to say to my friend from New Jersey, I don't think that this administration has lived up to their promises to farmers. Remember that a nation that cannot feed itself, if we lose those family farms, if we lose our ag sector, we cannot lead the free world. We cannot feed ourselves. And frankly, farmers have been hit over and over again. These incoming tariffs are going to be disastrous for our farmers. I was just in South Central and Southern Illinois, just across the Mississippi River from Missouri, talking to our farmers in St. Clair County, Illinois. And you know what they tell me? They tell me that the tariffs are going to affect their products being sold overseas. Our top products in Illinois: corn, soybean, pork. We're also the largest grower of pumpkins. So if you get that Libby can of pumpkins at Halloween time and Christmas time and Thanksgiving, that's thanks to Illinois. If you ever want to come, I'll take you out to the pumpkin fields. So it's the best pumpkins in the country. But frankly, they are being hurt over and over and over again. And so they're going to see the prices on their commodities affected. They can't sell their products overseas to the top countries that purchase their products. At the same time, their inputs, the fertilizer, the equipment that they need will be more expensive. The tariffs against Canada in terms of steel and aluminum is affecting John Deere. John Deere, hundreds of years old, an American company founded in the heartland of this great nation, is laying off people. And so we have to do better by our farmers. And our farmers have been betrayed time and time again by this Trump administration. They promise big things, but then they come in And by cutting programs like USAID, they are hurting our farmers, their bottom line. I sat down and I met with farmers who were 7th generation, 8th generation watching the teenage son of the farmer, and they're afraid that they're not going to have a farm there anymore. Their products, their margins are so tiny that they don't think they're going to make it. So my question to my colleague from New Jersey is, what are you hearing from farmers, and why do you think this administration is taking so many actions that hurt them and hurt American jobs?
I love my colleague. I love how she's been standing up quite figuratively time and time again on issues. She's really inspired me. I've told folks that on social media I have been celebrating, elevating, liking her content.
Thank you.
She is truly fierce and is a voice that gives me strength. And today she's asking me about one of my favorite subjects. A lot of people were surprised. My staff knows this story well, that I'm on the Ag Committee. And when one of my staffers, a guy sitting over here, Adam Zipkin, who's been with me since 1998, came to me and said, you should go on the Farm Committee, this is going to get me in trouble, I laughed at him. I had committees I loved. And what's that old saying? At first they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then they finally accept it. He told me all the issues I care about intersect with our farm and food system, that our farmers are such vital parts of America. They need more people standing up and fighting for them, because the American farmers are getting screwed. We're losing thousands of farms in this country. Family farmers are going belly up. The math doesn't work for them. And this president, as you've pointed out, oh gosh, President Trump is causing an unprecedented amount of chaos, instability, and harm for farmers. Farmers already deal with so much uncertainty from prices, weather, pests, and more. They should not have to deal with uncertainty that our government won't follow through, as you said, on contracts. On contracts. I've had farmers from New Jersey to Texas coming to my office about this president freezing contracts that we approved in a bipartisan manner, putting them in financial crisis. One of the first things that Trump and Musk did is freeze thousands of contracts and agreements that have been already made with our farmers. Farmers applied to grant programs and were selected on their merits. They made legally binding contracts, yet starting in late January, farmers found themselves not getting reimbursed, sometimes reading in the news that a particular grant was frozen, or sometimes no information at all, other than that they were not getting their payments processed. I yield for a question while retaining the floor.
Thank you. I think the issue of contracts is especially important because so much of these cuts are claimed to be to cut waste in government spending. We have a law in the books that says that if we don't make payments according to existing contracts, then we have to pay the interest on those payments that we are late in providing. And so if we, for example, cut $2 billion in or freeze funding payment on $2 billion in contracts as we did with USAID, that means that we're going to have to pay, say, 2% interest rate, $60 million in interest. I don't see where that is a savings for taxpayers. That is a waste of taxpayer dollars. I think that is something that we should be talking about. And I also think that, as you were mentioning, the issue with our farmers, they are important to our national security. The SNAP program is a good example of it. That program was instituted after World War II. We had the very famous example of Audie Murphy, who was the most highly decorated soldier coming out of World War II. He could not pass the initial test to enlist in the Navy, into the Army during World War II because he didn't weigh enough due to malnutrition post the Great Depression. And so we created the SNAP program to make sure that America's young people were fed or no longer malnourished so that they could get food in our schools while they were going to school. Because it was good for the United States military to have a workforce that could enlist in the military and meet the standards. That is the origin of the SNAP program, and that has been a program that has sustained our farmers over time. And I think that we are losing sight of that. And so my question to the senator from New Jersey is to hear a little bit more. Have you heard about the SNAP program and also the work that the farmers in New Jersey have been doing in terms of organic and sustainable farming, which is really where the beginning of the organic and sustainable farming movement has begun in this country?
Yeah, I'm aware of another one of my colleagues. I just want to say, yes, I'm aware of that. The way that Trump, I'm just going to summarize, contract freezes, this is one of the ways Trump and Musk are causing havoc. Program cuts. They've eliminated programs, as you said, that support local food systems, including those that connect farmers with food banks and schools and promote regenerative practices. It's stunning. USDA destabilization. Trump and Musk have laid off USDA employees, closed USDA offices, hindering the agency's ability to provide essential services to farmers. Tariff policies. Trump's tariff policies implemented without consultation with or support from farmers will increase farmer costs and consumer food prices. And finally, general chaos, which seems to be something, as you're pointing out, that they're very good at. Farmers already deal with so much uncertainty from prices, weather, pests, and more. They should not have to deal with uncertainty from Donald Trump's administration that will undermine everything that they do.
A question for the senator from New Jersey.
I will yield for a question while retaining the floor.
I would like to ask the senator from New Jersey a question pertaining to the Farm Bill. You speak to uncertainty. One of the things that I've heard from my agricultural sector and my farmers are Farm Bureau in Illinois is the desperate need for this body to pass a Farm Bill, especially when it comes to crop insurance, the crop insurance program, as well as, again, retaining SNAP benefits. I do think that crop insurance is something that our farmers care deeply about. It is a tool that they use to make sure that they are able to survive when there are bad crop years, whether that is through disease, whether that is through drought or floods. Our farmers certainly, this is a program for them to sustain themselves and be able to look out for themselves. So it is a personal responsibility on the part of farmers. It is especially important for young farmers who are just starting out. Those margins are so tiny. And when you take away the commodity program and the USAID, when you take away SNAP program, and then you don't provide them with crop insurance, you're going to lose those family farms. And what's going to happen? Large agribusinesses are going to take over, and they don't have the well-being of the American people at their heart. And so, I would love to hear from the senator from New Jersey would you agree that what we should be doing right now is not attacking farmers and cutting commodity programs and cutting and freezing funding for USAID that it provides a market for farm products, but instead we should be working on passing a farm bill?
Yeah, I love you for bringing these things to point.